Just getting set up here really quick. All right. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Good morning, good evening, whatever it is for you. Oh, how you guys doing? Oh boy. All right, where were we? We were making the stylized dude. You guys ready? I'm gonna pop this over on my Facebook really quick. 1 second. Going live. Alright, let's see if anybody shows up. Boom. Alright. Yeah, right? Time to put some muscles on. How's it going, T-Chan? Okay. Doom. Let's do this. What's up, Sumerian? How's it going, man? Who are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm in a mood. All right. Let's see. When I usually block something out, I never block out the skeleton. Obviously, I just don't. So what I usually do is I start with the hips. What's up? How's it going? Welcome everybody to the stream Tuesday night. Thanks for sharing your evening with me. I sound like Bob Ross. Thanks for letting me into your home. Right? Is that what he says? Okay. So what I want to do is I want to put all these muscles on a different subtool. Oh, cool, Sumerian. That's great. Super cool. No problem. How is it going? Where is everybody from? I ask that once in a while, but it's good to kind of see where everybody, because there's people watching from all across the world, and it's really super cool. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab a IMM sphere from Brazil. Hey, how's it going? LA, what's up, Chris? How's it going? Good to see you guys here. Okay, I'm just going to drag this guy out. This bubblegum, apparently. Ooh, Oregon. Oh, I love Oregon. I love Oregon. Okay, Texas. The UK. Awesome. All right. So, you can barely see what I'm putting in right now. And where you can see it right here is that the triangle on the back. See this? This Bermuda triangle back here. And then I'm going to make it extend all the way down to the crotch. So it'll become the crotch, it'll become this triangle back here. Germany, 4 a.m. Welcome, Raphael. How's it going? Wow, Germany. That's crazy. Okay, so now that I have this in place, I'm going to make it into its own subtool. And how I do that is split unmasked points. And then we'll grab this guy. Yeah, and the skeleton will look like a skeleton. And now it'll be like putting the pieces of bubblegum, kind of stretching them across the bones. It's going to be fun, I think. So, Brazil as well. Yay. Wow. Maine. What time is it in Maine right now? Is it 10 o'clock? Colombia. Wow. Colombia. And Ohio. Welcome everyone. That's so cool. Okay. It's kind of... So, this, like I said, the back of this sphere, and this is going to take a lot of adjusting, believe me. So, bear with me as I put these in place. And like I said, see where this circle is on the hips? I want to make that kind of peek out. Okay. What's going on, Blance? Welcome to the stream, dude. How you doing? Okay. And I think my skeleton is symmetrical. Let me make sure this is symmetrical. Do a quick mirror and weld. Yes, it is. Alright. Alright. Oh, looks like I put a little tiny... looks like I put a little tiny sphere in there. I don't want that. Okay. Let's see. And I'm going to kind of do this just one step at a time here, making my way down. I'm going to do the legs first, and then I'll work up the torso, I think. So for these legs, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do a sphere. Earlier today, I was prepping a model for printing. And I just have to tell you guys, the what's up, Sab the Robot? How's it going, man? I just have to tell you the new Boolean, the live Boolean, is fantastic for doing keys, for keying out your model. I'll show you guys in a little while. I'll show you my model that's all prepped and ready to print. It's super cool. Wednesdays, where are you at? Multi? Wednesday. It's not quite Wednesday here yet. Okay, I don't want to cross the center with these spheres just yet. That's why I keep turning it to the side. I will eventually. I'll cross them and squish them together to make those glutes, but I don't want to quite yet. I want to turn on local symmetry. There we go. And then drag them sort of into place. Like I said, these are going to take a lot of adjusting as I go, so bear with me here. Wellington, New Zealand. Oh, you're in Troy and Lena's realm. I was just talking to Troy today. Such cool guys. I need to get over there and see the Hobbit stuff, right? Oh man, live booleans for keys. Wow. Absolutely wow. Just holy wow. Okay. If that was around when we were doing the Disney Infinity characters, it would have made our life much easier. Our lives. Okay. I'm trying to decide if I want to make, see this abdomen here? I'm trying to decide if I want to make that the exact same piece as this poking out the back. See this? Usually I do make it the same, but I'm trying to figure out if that's what I want to do. And this pelvis bone's coming in a little too low here. Let's go back. Okay. And I'm going to have to obviously make that pelvic sphere larger. It's looking kind of silly. See, as I pull that out, it's going to start to make that little triangle right there. I'm really channeling Bob Ross today. Yep, my friend's daughters live in New Zealand, and he's an airline pilot, and he flies over to see him every once in a while, which is really cool. I'm just going to inflating these together here just to get that shape. And then down like this, and this will come from the overlap here from the other muscles. Happy little accidents, of course. Okay, see the blue comes down the side here. I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna actually make that a separate piece. This will be happy little accident land. I don't even know what I'm doing. What am I doing? So this will be purple. And then once I Z-remesh this, it's going to change the colors of everything. But it looks like this goes all the way down the side here. All the way down. So we're going to try that. Ooh. He did have a pet squirrel. Isn't that crazy? You can watch videos of him. He's like, has it in his little pocket. Feeds it. So funny. Pet squirrel. Have you guys seen the or heard and seen the Bob Ross song? Every day's a good day when you paint. It's so good. I believe. See, that's the kind of music I wish I could play during my stream, but it's copyrighted, I bet. Maybe not. Okay. So I'll make the next one. So there's 2 on the front and 2 on the back of these quads. I'm gonna grab one of these appendage brushes for this one. I should have on that last one, but I didn't. Animal skeletons, that would be a really fun exercise for sure. It was, you know, I've honestly never built a skeleton before. I thought, you know, why not give it a shot? Never done it. Because this is a learning exercise for me as much as it is for you guys. I'm gonna go back and hide these hands of the skeleton, get them out of the way. Let's go higher. Higher. Let's see. No. Was his name Peapod? That's awesome. Oh, what's up, Ashen Creatures? Welcome to the stream. Making a cartoonish skeleton. Yep, why not, right? Let's see, do you have any suggestions to get a cheap ZBrush license? So what I would suggest is getting, if you're just starting out or whatever, I would get ZBrush Core, because that's only, I think it's $100 still, and just work your way up as you go. But and then the price that you pay for ZBrush Core, it'll get you all used to everything and used to the navigation, used to Dynamesh, and then you can upgrade to ZBrush Full, and that upgrade price is, or the ZBrush Core price is actually deducted from the cost of the upgrade. So yeah, it's a good deal. It is a good deal. That's the only one I know of. Okay, let's see. This is going to be strange because I've never cut like a quad down the center before. You know, it's a quad because there's 4 the front 2 and the back 2, so this will be interesting. And you know what I'm going to do? Oh, gosh, I'm trying to decide if I want to join this one and this one together or not. These colors are really strange. Yep, and once you buy into their system, into the Pixelogic system, you know, with ZBrush and ZBrush Core and all that, you're a customer for life, and all the upgrades are free. You know, so yeah, there's the upgrade system they have is just amazing. I'm gonna have to come in later and see this, where they join, all 3 of these muscles join this point right here. So I'm gonna have to do that after I get them all laid in, because we're also seeing this pelvis right here, the bone coming through, and that's not necessarily what I want either. So, oh, student pricing, yes. If you are a student and you're with an approved university, thanks, Jay Morvan. Okay, let's see. This could go slow, it could go fast, so thanks for your patience and bearing with me. It does, I think it does have a free trial, like, I'm thinking 30 days maybe. I'm not sure how long it is, but I think you're right. I've owned ZBrush for so long, I don't know if it has a trial or not. It's been a long time. Long time. Okay, I'm gonna try something out here. See where this guy is right here? When you snap, well, I was gonna say when you snap, so when you draw out a new piece of geometry and then you hold down shift, see how it snaps, but how it's not snapping to the world? It's because it's snapping to the last known location of the gizmo, which is this, but it's not quite doing it. So I still haven't figured that out yet. Still haven't figured that out. It comes and goes. Oh, 45 days, thank you. Okay, great. Great. Okay, we're gonna make this weird robot looking thing. I'm pretty excited about how this is gonna potentially work, because I want it to come down here and have these muscles reveal the skeleton underneath, which is the kneecaps, which is quite cool, and then have this tuck underneath the abdomen when I get that laid in. That'll also be pretty cool. It's just giving me a better understanding of how, even though it's it's stylized, it's not realistic at all whatsoever. But it's still semi-realistic. Like, I'm looking at how this tucks behind the front one. And the front one actually wraps around. And creates that line that goes from... Sometimes I'll cut that line in by hand, depending on how detailed I'm making my sculpt. Sometimes I'll cut that line that goes right, well, basically, yeah, this one right here. It kind of rolls around as it goes in. So the trial version, I believe, is a full version, but it only lasts for 45 days. I think that's the only difference. I think it's a full working version. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who's used the trial, but I'm pretty sure. I'm just using inflate to kind of pull that over. And then this is going to come up and out of here and then curve in. Raphael, thanks. I just gotta say this disclaimer. I do not typically block my characters out this way. I don't. This is an exercise in anatomy to kind of teach myself more about how to stylize anatomy and how everything kind of wraps inside of itself. And I saw this image. This is from Psychra. SYCRA, and I got his permission to model this out. So I'm really excited about it. Let's see. I'm gonna push this pelvis in. Looks like he or she is pregnant. So this is just a fun exercise. I thought, you know, a lot of people were asking for some anatomy stuff, and I'm not, you know, I'm not the best anatomy teacher. I'm no Ryan Kingsland or anything like that, or Michael DeFeo. I'm just, you know, a guy that wants to learn. So yeah, those guys. If you want to learn anatomy, Proco, so Stan Prokopenko at Proco.com. Little shout out for Stan. He does figure drawing training, but it's super duper good all around anatomy training. And then Ryan Kingsland, of course, over at UArtsy. Give him a shout out too. And love Michael DeFeo when he talks about anatomy. Oh, there's so many good anatomy training stuff out there. So many, so much, so there's a lot. Anatomy for sculptors. I think my buddy Dan over at Mold3D did an anatomy course. I don't know if he's still doing it or what. But. So if you drag this out and push it back in, it kind of narrows it, gives you a better start. There we go. And it's funny too, because if I wanted to select the colors, I could by hitting Control W. If I invert this, Control W, and if I just solo it like this, I can hit Control W as much as I want to kind of go through the colors. So if I find a green or something I like, I can sort of match this green on the back of his leg, because this is the muscle I'm putting in. A dairy cow. There's, you know, you're right, Joanna. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, sorry, but yeah, those really big hips, big shoulder blades. Yeah, that would be very interesting to do. You know who else is amazing at anatomy is Steve Lord. And he does animals. He does a lot of animals. He's done a deer, and he's printed it out. And he's done a horse, I think. And he brings it to CTN, brings his prints to CTN every year. And they're just amazing to look at, because they're very, very well broke down to see everything. Steve, I think it's Steve Lord, right? I gotta look it up. Steve or Steven? Yeah, okay. I'm going to show you the... Oh my goodness. That guy. Alright. I'm going to show you the deer I'm talking about here. Oh, it looks like he does a UArtsy course as well. It's not letting me... Huh. Well, if you just look up Stephen Lord Anatomy on Google image search, you'll see a ton of them. And you'll see his deer on the second row. It's so good. So good. Star-Lord. Star-Lord, Master of Anatomy. Star-Lord. Whoa. Don't cross the streams. I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm going to draw it out here. Then tuck it in. Let's see. Oh, thanks. Thanks for the link on that. Yeah, he's at CTN every year, and he sells his little his figures, his anatomy figures, and they're so good. I need to get me one. How fun is this? This is cool. So it's cool because I can tuck this back and kind of reveal that muscle on the front as it wraps around, just like in this drawing here. Then I can shrink it. So because I want to reveal these tendons on the back of the knee. Let's see. What's comparative anatomy? There you go. Thanks. All right, I'm gonna solo this and make it orange. Whoops. Come on, orange. There you go. Green, orange. I'll put this in the same poly group. There we go. Make it blue. Cool. Oh, compared to the anatomy of different animals. Oh, for sure. Scott Eaton, thank you, Blands. That is the name I was searching my brain for. Scott Eaton. I have not taken a class from him, but I've heard he is amazing. Okay, I'm going to grab this and just kind of pull it over. Scientific classification as well as art. That's really cool. Guernsey cows. Waltron. All right, let's see. So I'm just going to say, while I'm doing this, I'm paying attention to the outer silhouette, the silhouette that these muscles are making, because I'm looking for this. I'll keep refining and refining, but I'm looking for these stylized shapes. See how it kind of cuts in right at the crotch line, and it kind of peeks out where that hip is. This is more prominent on females than males, but here I'm going to do a Dylan Ekron point here. Okay, there we go. So see this right here, this little tip, how it's sticking out? That's more prominent on females, and then it kind of goes in, and then it comes out for the thigh, comes down and goes in and tucks behind that kneecap. So I'll be working on that, just refining it as I go. But I need to get that abdomen in, so I have kind of a roadmap of where, you know, how far forward to place the muscle that's coming up from the buttocks, and then how much this tucks in and goes over. So it's kind of hard because they don't quite match up across, you know, just looking as it's turning. So I need to kind of use my own judgment as I go. Magic arrow. Right. A new magic arrow has appeared. Okay. And I like to have some shapes form the line, the cut line from the difference between the two shapes. Form the lines, you know, which is cool. And also see how this muscle's kind of rolling. Let's see. It's kind of doing this shape right here, right? And I don't necessarily want that. So what I can do is, this is a trick, use polish. And you can go over the top of this, between the two, and it'll squish them together. You can kind of see it over here as I roll down it. You got to be careful though, because it'll make edges, and you don't want edges. But so if I turn off the wireframe, which I don't have the wires turned on, you can see how it essentially makes the line disappear between those shapes. You can come back and smooth it and polish it back down, smooth it out and polish it back down. So it's just kind of a back and forth thing. But I do that with hair a lot. So to get, usually on the top, the crest of the crown of the head, the hair will be very much together as one unit, and as it falls past the skull, like the crown and the crest of the skull, down, those pieces will separate, and it will make different separations. So I'll keep those chunks of hair separate, and then when it gets up to the top of the skull, sometimes I'll go up there and I'll soften it and get rid of that line, or at least make it more subtle as it goes up there. So that's another thing I work on. Okay, so let's turn this back on. I like making these different colors. There we go. But once I Z-remesh, it's going to mess it all up. Cheryl Whitlatch? I'm sorry, I don't know how to, but she's fantastic. Comparative and creative anatomy, that's cool. I'll have to check it out. Okay, so I don't know why this is lumping out on me. Oh, that's why. Okay. Need to smooth this out. There we go. Clean it up a little bit. Probably have to do the same to this. Okay. Pull this thigh out more. You guys fans of Stranger Things? I just heard that they signed him up for another season, and possibly a third season, possibly a fourth. Pretty excited about that. That show plucks all of my nostalgia heartstrings. You haven't seen it? It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Okay, this is kind of starting to reveal what I wanted it to, which is, see the kind of the pelvis bone, which are those two circular things inside. So if I turn on transparency, you can kind of see them in there. I have them too far out, but I wanted this, you know, how it goes out and then back in, to go like it's showing in the image here. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. They do such a good job. Now sometimes when you have topological on and you have a mask on, it fights with itself, so you got to be careful about that. Okay, I'm going to let this blue become the peak. And try and let this muscle resolve sooner. There we go. So I'm trying to get that. I'm going to have to grab that skelly, push that in a little bit so it doesn't poke out. Kind of fun to see it in there, huh? That's what I was hoping to do. Okay, let's move downwards. I think I might split this calf into two. See how he's got the line right here? I think I'm going to do one shape on each side. I think they're going to do a Halloween, so I don't know if it actually releases on Halloween or the month of October or just what. Okay, this will be kind of tricky. Do I want to do that? Let's just try one shape for now. It's kind of cool. And then if I want to split it later, I'll split it later, I guess. Oops. Whoa. Didn't mean to draw another one. So I'm going to actually let the skeleton be this light blue on the front. So the skeleton will create that. Because your skin is so, I mean, there's no real muscle on the front of your leg. There is a little bit, but just right on the inside where that is. Oh, PBBM, thanks for asking. It's my own personal brush that I made. It's called the it's called, well, it's this weird name. It's my insert multi-mesh brush. And you can get that at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. I give it away for free. So you can go check that out and just sign up for my newsletter, my free newsletter, and then grab it from there. I also teach a course, an online course. I mention every stream. Sorry guys if you've heard it a billion times. But I'm going to be releasing it really soon again. I'll be opening it for enrollment again very soon. I just need to work out a couple more little kinks. It'll be ready. Probably within a week or two, I hope. So, yeah, it's just I call it my appendage brush. See that? Appendage. So it's this insert multi-mesh. It has all these primitives. So it just a bunch of spheres at different resolutions. Then it has a cube and cube split. So this cube is pre-creased. So if I turn on wire, you'll see it. See, it's pre-creased, so if you subdivide it, it's not going to collapse on itself. And then this cube split is just a cube with a split down in the center. And then I have a cylinder that's pre-creased that has a quad top and bottom, and it doesn't have any segments in the middle. So it's really easy to make a cone out of, or stretch it, or do whatever you want with it. And then the appendage is just an elongated sphere with some extra spans to cover the distance, and it already has a taper because most muscles are tapered, so it gets you to that starting point faster. So I use it all the time. I love it. Put in custom limbs and ears and eyes. Yeah, but that's kind of cheaty, and it will influence what your model looks like. If you're using the same ears and nose and everything every single time, there's a good chance it's going to make your models all look the same. So I tend to avoid it. That's just me. To each his own. But yeah, there's actually some good ones out there, and and that's another reason why I like to block my characters out every single time. People are like, why don't you just use the same blockout mesh and just munge it around? And the reason why is because every character is different, and I don't want to be influenced by past characters. But there is an exception, and that exception is if you are pressed for time and you have a library of character parts that are similar characters, like we did with Disney Infinity. I would use some similar character parts over and over, like hands specifically, because they had to be rigged a specific way with a specific bone layout that we would share the rigs with. So we would bring in, I would typically just kind of put some kind of a hand block out in there and then bring that hand in, the shared hand in later. Okay, now let's put that. Yes, they are. They're, I mean, look at, well, they're hidden right now, but my skeleton hands, they're just awful. They take so much, they take as much work, like just doing the hand, as like the rest of the character to get, you know, really looking nice. They just take a lot. Pain in the wrist. Very funny. I'm gonna make this kneecap just a little bit bigger. Just scale it up. There we go. Turn line off again. And I'm doing a workshop at the Zbrush Summit. If you guys don't know, if you're going to the Zbrush Summit soon, I think there's one seat left actually, which is awesome. It's good to know that people want to listen to me do my spiel live. I don't know why, but hey, cool. I love to meet new people. So it'll be fun. I did a workshop with Matt Thorpe a couple years ago. That was great. Made some lifetime friends. Gets close. You like when you're first starting to draw and you're like, the hands are always in the pockets or behind the back, or you just don't draw them at all, you know? All right. Come on, grab it. I just want that transition to be a little better. There's this bump out that kind of happens on the inside from this muscle, and it's doing stylized characters. Sometimes it's good to exaggerate that bump before it connects in with the knee. And the other side, it looks like it just kind of goes straight in. Oh man, feet is, yep, the feet are crazy. Feet are crazy, especially if you get into all those little toes and everything. Like if you actually model all the toes, if it's a naked foot, that can get pretty crazy. It's fun to stylize though. Like we stylized the Hulk's foot with super nubby, stubby toes, and it's always cool to put a space between the first toe and the rest, kind of like that, you know, with toes. I guess it'd be the thumb, but anyway, it's kind of fun to stylize it that way. Okay, let's put in the next one. Get really skinny. Old man, you know, old man hands are fun because of all the knuckles and wrinkles and all that detail. That can be fun. Good luck with that. Yeah, that'll be fun, depending on how old. I don't have too many wrinkles yet. I turned 46 soon. Not quite there. Whoa. You'd move, not draw another appendage. So this cuts way in. It gets really small. So I'm just going to use smooth to make it small and narrow, and then push it in. Thanks, D-Chan. Yep, I'm ancient. Ancient. Getting up there. Let's see, I'm going to make this one even bigger. Let's pull it out. I have the same birthday as Sean Connery. August 25th. Sean Connery. Sean Connery's voice is fun to do. I like my martini shaken, not stirred. I miss him as James Bond. Thanks. SNL Jeopardy. Trebek. Oh, he says the craziest stuff. It's so funny. I won't say it here on the Pixelogic stream. It gets kind of, you know. Oh, it's so funny. Alright, I'm going to make this wrap around the front a little bit. And kind of push this side in, because it's flat right here. Not lumpy, just flat. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Where'd I get those awesome turnarounds from? These are from Sycra. He's a really good artist. SYCRA. I think a lot of his stuff's on DeviantArt. Yeah, it's so good. So I thought I would take a stab at modeling it. So I'm going to inflate this out around the heel like a teardrop. I'm doing my best to do it justice. We'll see how it turns out. A little more. There we go. This pelvis will look a lot better once I get the abdomen happening. So stylized. Thunder Bunny, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. You know, yeah, very. I love stylized characters, obviously, and I love. Why isn't this moving? Is there there we go. It was masked, but it didn't show it. Just want to bring that up here. Kind of create that interior wedge. Banana toe. He still has banana toes. Yes. I'll get to those banana toes. I promise I'll get to them. Let's see. That is not what I want. I want it to be... I want it to disappear sooner. Let's see. What's up, MDM Creates? Do I get into heavy texturing with my characters in Keyshot or any other software? It depends on what the needs of the character are, honestly. Sometimes I will, but not not typically, because stylized characters typically tend to have the same texture as, say, like a vinyl toy. But sometimes you can stylize the texture and just paint, like typically hand paint in some like some fur patterns and things like that. Gradient tones. That's what I'll usually do, is gradients. But as far as like getting into substance and doing some really nice surface textures with substance, I typically don't. So I would like to have more experience in that. I'm just going to pull these out. Yeah, substance, super fun. I've played with it some, but not enough. I really would like to play with it more. It's the way a lot of games are going these days, even stylized characters. But I typically, honestly, I paint all my textures inside Zbrush, and then I transfer the maps from my high to low with the texture. So I do all my gradients and everything inside of Zbrush and just transfer it. Like did you see the pirate girl that I did? Or I did all of her texture work inside of Zbrush. Let's see. Need to... Yeah, so I didn't take her into substance or anything like that. Why is that growing? Because I'm inflating it, not moving it. I'm just trying to get this to barely overlap the blue. Just barely. Okay. Sorry, it's very noodle intensive. Just tweak, tweak, tweak. And when I see things, I go back over it and tweak it some more. Okay, I'm going to cover up those banana toes with just this big solid yellow piece. I'm not sure if I'll go into making like these purple toes, like each individual toe, but I'm going to go Topogun. Topogun is good for transferring maps for sure. I don't use it for retopo. And since this is Pixelogic Stream, I'm not going to get into what I really do use, so... But there are lots of options out there. Okay, let's turn transparency on so I can see what I'm doing underneath. It's pretty fun having something to work with under there, like banana toes. Well, it's not really trouble. Sometimes they'll edit it out if I, because it's Pixelogic Stream, It's their software. And it's amazing software. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and inflate this underneath. And kind of create the arch and pull it down and together. I really need to set my brushes up on hotkeys, so I'm not constantly going down here and back up, down here, back up. It does add time. So I want these ankles to show, but I also want the this back heel shape and this front foot shape to come together and make a seam between the two like that. So oh hey, what's up F-Mats? Welcome to the live stream for the first time. You've seen until episode 6 of my stuff. Oh, cool. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for the comments, man. I appreciate it. Sorry, the anatomy isn't, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it's not as fun to watch as, say, putting together a pirate girl. Hey, Thunder Bunny. Yeah, I know. The only hotkey I really use is 2, and this is my ultimate menu of awesomeness. And it is it's another pitch for my user interface. You can get it from 3dcharacterworkshop.com, and it comes with it. But you have to set up the hotkey if you want it to pop up. And I'll also, what I'll do is I'll set the number 2 key to my back pen button like this. So when I'm hovering, I can just pop it open like that. Maybe I should put some brushes on a custom hotkey or a custom menu, I don't know. Anyway, any way to speed stuff up is good. Hotkey schmockey. Let's see, I'm gonna inflate these toes just a little bit. Whoa! What was that? Oh, I turned the intensity way up. It's like burp. It doesn't register. Oh, just set your do you have a Wacom or a different tablet? Because with Wacom you can just set your to a keystroke and set the keystroke to 2. And it works pretty good. And this first toe is much bigger than the other ones. Typically, yes it is. Let's see. I know, all those brushes. There's a lot of them. I have that, I think I showed it in the last stream, I have that G13, which is like a little bank of keys you can just set off here like a calculator and just kind of go. That's what my buddy Steve James uses, something like that. It's pretty cool. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Pucho. Is it Pucho? 321. Thanks, man. Okay, from the front, I think I want to, let me see here. I'll show you a cool material from Zbrush. Check this out. It's called Silhouette. You can check out the silhouette. I'm just looking at the silhouette of the legs from the front and the side. This is a little lumpy back here. And this could use some more work. And that foot is tiny from the side. Tiny, tiny. Kind of fun being tiny, but it's tiny. Okay. Oh, you got a orb? I have not heard of that one. Ah, yeah, you know, my favorite, I'm going to say my favorite tablet was the Wacom 24 HD. That's the one I had before this one. I love this one's screen space, don't get me wrong. I really love the real estate of it, but I don't like that little, I don't even know where it is. It's like a little hockey puck, like hotkey thing, because the magnet doesn't stick well enough. And with ZBrush, you need to push multiple keys at the same time, like 3. And you can't hold it in your hand and push 3 because it's not like a guitar, you know. So it's just kind of weird that way. So anyway, I'm not a huge fan of that one, but on my 24 HD it had all the buttons built in the sides right here and right here, and I could put my keyboard away and I could just use those buttons on the side, and it was really nice because I could drop it into my lap and then it would not fatigue my back as much, which was super nice. Yeah, the EK remote, and a lot of people like it, you know, the EK remote, so I'm not dissing on it. I'm just saying I'm not personally a fan of it. There's my 2 cents. Alright, I'm just going to put in this torso and spin it around. Stick it. I think I am going to make this be both front and back. So it'll be this abdomen portion right here and the back muscle on the bottom, the lower back right here. So it'll serve 2 purposes. It's totally dissonant. Don't get it. No, I wonder what the new one is, if it's any better. I let the Wacom people know what I'm a fan of or not. They're pretty cool. They're really cool people. They're always at CTN every year. I see them out there. Okay. Let's kind of work this out. So you're trying to figure out my setup? About to get a Cintiq 24 and you're thinking about how you set up the keyboard Wacom. So how I did it was I would, if you do have buttons on the side of your Wacom, I would set up, well, all the buttons you use. So like Shift, Control, and Alt, those are key. Well, key, right? those are super important to have. And then they have wheels typically to go up and down, left and right. And I would use that to change the brush size up and down. And there were 2 wheels, one on the left and one on the right. So the one on the left, because it was the one in my left hand while I was drawing, I would spin that up and down for my brush size. On this one over here, I would make that go up and down resolution in my subtools, which was super nice. I miss that a lot. So then I could go, yeah, I could just roll it down, smooth, roll it back up. It was nice. Yeah, the back. Let's see, and I need to get the sides, the obliques in here. I'm going to let the skeleton be this purple. See the purple rib cage? The skeleton will define that rib cage. I mean, there is, of course, there's some skin and tendons and muscles over the top of it, but I'm going to let it define it because it's fun. Let's see, and I'm going to pull it. I'll pull it down more in the front. Let's see other hotkeys. I would have color picker, so C, the letter C on your keyboard, so I could pick colors. So how you set the wheel for the brush size is like Photoshop. They're bracket keys. So see this up, 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 and down, down, down. So I would set the wheel going one direction, the up bracket key, and the wheel going the other direction, the lower bracket key. So it would kind of just go tick, 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 tick. So yeah, it would work out pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, I'm going to solo this so I can pull it. Smooth it out, get it back in there. And curve it like the spine. And then what I'm going to do is, you know, you have those 2 muscles. Sorry, I don't know the names, but straddling your spine, if anybody knows what those 2 muscles are. That's what that is. I just know they're there and I put them in there. Okay. The back muscles. Part of the back. Back A and B. Looks funny without those obliques, doesn't it? Isosceles? Is that what it is? No, iliocotolis. the lats. Oh, isosceles is a triangle, isn't it? It's the isosceles muscle. Let's just make it up as we go. I know. I'm not a doctor. I just know what it looks like, okay? It looks like that. This is it. This is good. We're done. I'm glad Ryan Kingsland doesn't live too close to me. He'd be over at my house punching me in my face. Learn the anatomy, damn it! The first time I met Ryan, he was doing a model similar to this. I can't say similar, but similar in the fact that he had a skeleton and he was laying muscles out on top of it, but it was like every realistic real muscle possible. I have nothing but respect for Ryan. He's amazing, and maybe one day I'll do that, but that day is not today. Sorry guys. So we're gonna get the stylized version. What? Chicken with those arms. Yeah, it's like bagak. The chicken. What are you trying to say? Offended chicken. So you guys glad I don't have the music anymore? That was kind of distracting. There's some people on YouTube that are like, get rid of the music. I don't blame them at all. It's kind of getting in the way. Speaking of music, Depeche Mode tomorrow night. They're in town. I'm gonna go check them out. If it's not rained out. Ryan was dressed up as a pirate? Nice. Oh, let's check it out. Thank you for the link. Here we go. Let's see if it's good. Oh. Yep. That's it. Superior borders of the lats. It's kind of hard to tell when his arms are up because everything's kind of getting pulled, but huh. Cool. Yeah, enjoy the silence. Can't wait. It'll be good. Okay, let's put the lats in here. This is turning out okay. I can't believe Ryan was a pirate. I can believe Ryan was a pirate. I can. Does not surprise me at all. Okay, so just so you guys know, the way I'm kind of doing this is I'm looking at the muscles on the interior, the closest to the skeleton first, and building my way out. And I'm kind of building my way up. So like the lats are on top of the erector, whatever they're called, these guys. And then they're also on top of these obliques. So I'm going to put those in next and stretch them all the way down. No. Appendage. Okay. Let's squish them flat. These will be fun to put in. Spine A? Spine A? Oh, like erector spine A? Huh. What if there's an erector spine B? Now I have that song stuck in my head. Enjoy the silence. Wish I could play songs like that on here, huh? You probably guys are like, no. Thanks, but no. I sounded Canadian. Spine, eh? That's horrible. Horrible, but funny. It's getting very flat. Need to keep the back arced. Arced, a nice round arc. And then pull it in so it creates that arc. This is going to have to get really narrow. The parts, yeah, it's the lats. I know those. I know those. Latissimus. I was never a bodybuilder, obviously, but I did work out a little bit, so I know that. The lats. Okay, you know you can turn topological onto your smooth brush. That's why I have this topological button out here, because you can make any brush a topological brush. A lot of people only think that you can use move topological, and they actually put the brush out here. But this is like flicking a switch on any of your brushes, just so you know. Even smooth. I'm bodybuilding right now. Building a body. So funny. Horrible. That's cool. I'd like to get into it again. I was in the best shape when I was like 22. I was in the military. The jokes. Pet Shop Boys fan? Yeah, that's I'm one of those guys. Pet Shop Boys and New Order. Yeah, all that stuff. That was my growing up. Howard Jones. Okay, let's tuck these in. Yeah, West End Girls. New Model Army. I don't think I listened to them, or if that's a song. Okay, I'm gonna use inflate. So once you get to the center right here, you can't really pull it across with move brush. It just kind of sticks. See that? It doesn't really pull across. So what you have to do is use inflate to close that gap. Like so. And that'll also round it out too. Shaking my whole desk. Thunder and Consolation. I'm sure I've heard that. What did I just inflate? I inflated the lats across the center line right here. Are you working and listening to me? I hope so. That's the best way. Just occasionally glance up. That's how I listen / watch people while I'm working. Yeah, sweet. Okay. Yep, little chicken guy. Hi guys, I'm a little chicken. We'll get to the arms. Yep, listen to work. Till Tuesday, yes. Such good stuff. Okay. I think I'm going to inflate these lats to go up underneath here. On the inside of the armpit, looks like. Right here. I'm going to definitely have to Z-remesh these guys. Because I'm running out of polys. They're getting big. And let's grow that rib cage out. Here's the arms. Where are you, purple? There we go. Yeah, you know, YouTube is really good for bringing back all the old songs and their old videos. There's some videos I'd never watched the video. I just listened to the songs, and it's pretty crazy. Let's see. You guys, this is fun. I highly recommend doing this. It's a great exercise. Great. It's really fun. It's fun to just like see how the stuff tucks together and just how you can resolve the shapes, you know? I think I'm going to pinch this together here. Yeah, that's awesome. And another one right at the belly. Very cool. Keeping it simple. That is the goal. That's the key. If you know, there's a lot of students in my online course, and they're getting way better at it, but in the beginning, that was the biggest rookie mistake, is getting too much detail too fast. Speaking of which, I got to show you guys. Let me find it. I got the student gallery somewhat put together. Should check it out. Super proud of their work. Check it out. So how do you select different parts in the same subtool? And welcome to the stream, Tiago Sculpt. Feels dumb, man. That's funny. So yeah, if you check out that that gallery that I just posted there, the students are doing some fantastic work. And I'm not done yet. There's still a lot more I need to get up there. That's only in a couple months that I've had the course open. I couldn't be happier. Happy as a clam. Okay, let's get this next set in. So there's blockout gallery and a high-res gallery, and eventually I'll get a game character gallery and a 3D print gallery once I start getting more of those. I do have some game characters that students have submitted. Super fun. Super fun. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a creature box. That's a creature box concept that one of the creature box guys did at an event, just on a whim. I don't know what somebody asked him to do, but that's what he ended up doing, and then one of my students modeled it. He did a really good job with it. Angry Captain America. So, oh, to answer your question, I'm sorry. Who asked this question? I'm trying to... I missed it. Anyway, somebody asked me how I am selecting the different subtools. There's a couple ways. I'm masking everything off, and how you mask it off is if you hold down, well, if you select either move, rotate, or scale, you can hold down control, and you can isolate any of these polygroups like this, which is great. And that will allow you to move just that polygroup on its own. But if you don't have mask turned on and you just have your draw, which is right here, turned on, and you select move, if you turn this topological button off, you'll move everything together, big hips. Or if you turn it on, you'll only move the first poly, or the first object you select, like so. So that's how you do it. And typically I will leave masking turned off unless I specifically need to edit something. And like if I need to, if I need to get in there and really edit something. So how do I select? How you select the different, oh, you're just reposting the question, thanks. So that's you don't really select it, you just kind of grab it and move it. Am I using an external renderer or using for the course, I teach how to render in Keyshot in the course. It's a bonus actually. It's not part of the main course, it's a bonus. And the reason it's a bonus is just so you don't, it's not required. I guess nothing is required, but so like for example like this right here, I'll either hide it, which you just hold down Control plus Shift and you tap on one of the polygroups and it'll isolate it, or then you can mask it. So Sumerian, you're asking me again. Somebody asked me on every single. Yep. Somebody asked me every single. You beat somebody to it. Anyway, the reason I'm joking is because I don't really like to reveal the cost because it changes. But I can say it's competitive with the other courses, similar courses out there, like Mold 3D and UArtsy and things like that. But thanks for asking. Ton of clay, like real clay. Okay, let's solo this and flatten it out a bit. I want it to peek out just above these shoulder blades here. Maybe even make the shoulder blades peek through a little bit. That's not too attractive. Okay, I'm going to run my inflate just over the top to pull those out. Yep, I do cover a ton in my streams. It's just not organized. In my course, it's very organized, and there's text and images that go along with what I'm teaching. So. Okay, let's fix this. See how it's straight? It's a straight line, not this curved wonkiness I have happening here. Thunder Bunny, I think I read that you said that you wanted to do one of these like full on, like realistic. That would be awesome. You should. I recommend it. And thanks, Tiago. I'm glad you find it interesting. It's fun to watch, to kind of see who wants to watch this kind of stuff or not, if it's interesting to them or not. Like some streams, it'll go like, I don't know, I'll start peaking out at like 80 people to 100 people, and tonight's a little lower at like 64, 62. Not that I care, but it's interesting to watch, because if like last week's stream that I did, and when they put it up on YouTube, it got way more views on YouTube than my other ones. So people are interested in it, but just not making it to the live presentation of it. So it's very curious to watch that kind of stuff. Okay, I think it's time to Z-remesh, just to try it. And I'm going to duplicate this off just in case it messes up, and I'm going to save it. You always want to save. Let's see, Skelly 4. Before you do something drastic. A long time. No, I don't find it creepy at all. I'm flattered by it, honestly. I'll just be honest with you. I'm really flattered. So thank you very much. Yeah, people have, I mean, I used to make tutorials for digital tutors, and I made one on Gumroad, and there's people that have like followed me and liked me and bought all those things, and I'm just, I can't, I don't know what to say. It's just super flattered. Super flattered. Let's see. Whoa. Okay, so I'm gonna hide the other one, and then I'm gonna Z-remesh it. Peel grapes. Peel grapes and Zbrush. That'd be fun. Okay, see how this is the before and after. See how everything is stretched and just crazy and weird? We're going to Z-remesh it. Especially in here, how this is all stretched and colors. I'm going to get rid of my colors now. It's going to be more uniform. So here we go. Let's Z-remesh. Let's try, let's try 6. See what happens here. Boom. Pretty good. Man, Z-remesh does such a good job. Okay, I'm happy with it. Let's go. Let's move forward. I like how it made the butt white and this triangle red. Cool. Oh, so you did? You bought which one? I have like 4 of them on there. And there's one I'm not very proud of. That bird. The bird one's not the greatest. I'm not gonna lie. They wanted another one, and I was super busy at work, and they're just like, "Can you just do another one?" I don't have time, but I'll just push this one out, I guess. And it was funny because, you know, I check on the, you know, those digital tutors tutorials got pirated like crazy. So a lot of people saw them, which is kind of fun, I guess. But I was looking at a pirate forum once, and they were complaining about that bird. They're like, they're getting it for free, and they're like, "What is this stupid bird?" Oh my gosh, people. Yeah, the cartoon head guy, the golf guy. Yeah, you know, that one's been, that's the most popular one by far. That one, I think, well, the last time I looked, which was years ago, it had like 40,000 some odd views on it. Something like that. I have to head the station, catch the train home. Oh, no worries. I just appreciate you dropping by. Thank you so much. So I'm just glad you were able to make it to the live show. The live stream, whatever you want to call it. So right now, see this? See how it goes from the back of the head up almost to the front of the clavicle right here? I'm just trying to get that line cutting in. Oh, not another hour. Okay, cool. Stick around. We're having a good time. Oh, that bird. Oh, did you look at that bird? I'm sorry. I officially apologize for that bird. All right. It had some fun stuff on it, like how to make those feathers. But you know, bird. Did it actually merge these together? I think it did. I didn't know the Z-Remesher would do that. Yep, it did. That's okay. Then I don't have to mirror and weld it, which is cool. Oh, Molten Arts ends it. No worries. You can be whoever you want. Just be you. Okay, I'm going to shrink this a little bit more. You can use actually the reverse inflate. Do you guys know that? You can hold down Alt and it'll actually shrink instead of inflate. But I have it too intense, so that's still too intense. So smooth will also shrink stuff, but you can reverse inflate stuff. You'll be Sean Connery. All right. What happened to my skeleton? There he is. Solo. My chicken wing skeleton. All right, let's get the pecs in. Ooh, I just heard thunder outside. That could be not fun. I could lose. If I lose the stream, it's because my power went out. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Oh, wasn't very good. Yes, save. I'll save it right now. Save it. Thank you. Done. All right. Where were we? Okay, I was going to do the pectoralis squished spheres. What time we got? 9:30. We're doing pretty good. We're actually making decent time, I think. There you go. Done. I have no idea. I had no idea how long this was going to take. So I might even finish up before my time ends. We'll see. If I do, I'll just show you guys some other stuff. Okay. Is ZBrush a modeler software? It's more of a digital sculpting software. So it's like digital clay, is how people like to refer to it. Welcome to the stream, by the way. How long is the stream? It will go, let's see, another hour and a half. So it's 9:30 my time right now. It'll go till 11. So I usually stream for 3 hours. See, once again, Thunder Bunny, if you're watching, see how I can't close this gap in the center with my move brush. It just doesn't want to work. It's making it square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take inflate and just inflate that across the center. So Slothy, has it always been this way? Are you asking about, has the software always been this way, or is the stream, or what? What are you referring to? Sorry. ZBrush has always been a digital sculpting software, yes. But has it always been this way? No, it's made a ton of improvements over the years. This is ZBrush version 4, release 8. So it's been out for a long time. And yes, it's always been a digital sculpting software. It does have modeling capabilities. Like it has a Z modeler now, a box modeler, like Maya or 3D Studio Max or something like that, Blender. But it's a digital sculpting software first. Okay. So does that answer your question? So basically, you are working with polygons, but you're working with brushes instead of the actual faces and vertices. So that's what this big red circle is. This is a brush. Let's see. Yeah, 8 years ago, it's a completely different software. Completely. Plus, this is my custom user interface right here, and that also makes it look different than you're probably used to seeing. Like, I changed the colors of it and stuff, so. Sorry, my squishy steppy mat is moving around. Okay. These pecs will look better when I get the shoulders on. Yeah, this is just kind of I'm just playing with an anatomy exercise right now. Yeah, it's really, really fun to use too. Like T-Chan said, it's a blast. Because it is like using digital clay. It's a lot of fun. I'm just trying to polish this up here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Something's going on, making it wobbly. Okay, that's better. Have I tried real clay? Yes, I have, but not professionally or anything like that. It is a lot of fun, but boy, is it a lot of work. I have nothing but respect for real, live, traditional sculptors. I have a few friends that are digital sculptors, like Darren Marshall. Man, he came to our studio to help us figure out the look of Infinity. And he brought his clay and everything with him. And man, it was so cool. It was so cool. Looks like I need to move these shoulders back in space. Yep, no undo button with real clay. That's for sure. And man, that's what I felt so bad when Darren Marshall was in the studio, because we'd have him do changes and he would have to like literally chop his model in half and add more clay to make him a little slightly taller. And that's after it's done and polished and finished and it looks awesome. We're like, can you just make it a little taller in the legs? Slice, you know, boom. Slothy, I don't own a 3D printer yet. I would love one, but not yet. That's next on my list. I have used 3D printers a lot. So Slothy, I worked on Disney Infinity when it was still a thing, and so we printed a lot of our characters with a big 3D printer. There we go, getting this down here. But I would love to have like a Form 2 or a Moonbot or something like that. Would be awesome. I know. Me neither. Can't believe it. That's crazy, because it was doing well. It was doing really well. It's like $1 billion business, but it wasn't doing good enough. I guess they got wind that Toys to Life was going out. How do you reset the world center for all your subtools? Your model is so far off the center axis. That is a great question. So essentially what you do, I'll duplicate this and I'll show you. So let me hide the skeleton and I'll show the floor. I'll turn off the floor. So you can see the center axis line right here, right? If I turn off symmetry and I move this guy, let's see. If I move him off axis, right, like this, you'll want to turn on your line so you can see it. And then what you want to do is you want to just kind of get it as close to center as possible. And you can zoom right in and try and get that line as centered as possible. For your entire, all the subtools, what you'll want to do before that is you'll want to turn on this little thing right here. See, let me move it. See this little guy? Transpose all selected subtools. You want to open that up so it looks like this. And what that means is you're going to move all of your subtools with it. So that's how you're going to move every single subtool. And just make sure you turn it off when you're done. So you'll move your whole model over to center, all your subtools. Make sure you don't have any of your subtools hidden like I do. You want them all showing, everything that's off center. Then what you'll want to do, you need to make sure you don't have any subdivision levels. So turn that off, and then you'll just do a mirror and weld. So mirror and weld, and that will readjust the symmetry across the center line. If you do have subdivision levels, that's kind of a whole different thing that I don't have time to get into right now. But it essentially means you have to duplicate off your low and then reproject your high back onto it to get it. There's ways around it, but it's kind of it's a little more involved. So, but you can get it as close to center as possible. And also, once you get it close to center like this, you also have an option of coming down to deformation right here, and you can hit this Smart Resem or Resem. So hit Smart Resem first. And what that does is it tries to match everything across the center. And see, you'll see it up here. See how it says symmetry result 99.93% found? That means it's almost symmetrical. So that's kind of a way you can do it. So I hope that helps without getting into it too much. It's quite involved. If you, that's why you need to pay attention. One good way of not letting it get off of symmetry is to turn perspective off. Make sure perspective is turned off all the time, and make sure your active your symmetry is on all the time. That way when you snap to the side and you move it forward in space, it's not going to get off symmetry. So, oh hey, what's up, Dark and Grim? How's it going, man? Let's see. Oh, you just got in? How do you bring up the alignment grid? That's just the floor, and it's right here. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to delete that. Did that answer your question? Okay. Dark and Grim, or Rogue Bear, what time is it where you're at? It's all good. You can watch this back on YouTube later. But glad you could make it. We got about 11 p.m. Yeah. So your central time, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna pull this out because it's 9:47 here. Oh, Texas, awesome. Good friend of mine's in Texas. Okay, I'm going to push this spine inward a little bit as it goes up. Okay, and I'm going to push it in right here too. So it barely peeks out. That's pretty cool. 4 a.m. Wow, Dark and Grim. That's dedication. Thanks, man. Can you build walk cycles with this? No, it's just it's essentially a digital sculpting program. There's a few other things you can do with it, but that's like the main thing. It's not like a Maya or a Blender or something like that. It's probably, I would say it's the best in the industry when it comes to digital sculpting. And then you use other programs to like animate and rig and things like that. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. That's crazy. 4 a.m. Who's up at 4? Not me. That's who. Appreciate it though. So I'm just using sculpt to kind of clean this up a little bit, flatten it out. Can you import this build in Blender? Not necessarily. You can export this as an OBJ, but you have to retopologize it so it's lower resolution, because ZBrush makes very, very high resolution models. So in order to actually use it and rig it and animate it, you'll have to rebuild it. And you can use Z-Remesher, but it doesn't make the best game characters out of it. So you typically want to take the time to rebuild the mesh in a low resolution state. Okay, let's go ahead and build the backs of these arms now. Yep, way less polys. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Tiago. Thank you so much. 8 minutes to load into Blender and it didn't even show up as any. Yeah, it'll make it croak, honestly. 450 here. Woo! Best friend. Thanks for being here, Sumerian. Always a pleasure, my friend. All right, let's get this tucked up underneath this pit. Another night shift in Germany, huh? Wow. Anybody see the eclipse? It was quite cool here. It was about, I can't remember what percentage. I think it was 90-something% covered. The temperature dropped. It got semi-dark, not too dark, but semi-dark. But the coolest thing was the shadows of the leaves on the sidewalk were all these little like scallops. Really cool to see. Okay, I'm making the bicep here, or the tricep, sorry. Kind of comes in. Oh, I got topological one. That's why. So if you are working with masking, it's better to have topological turned off. Oh, it was cloudy in 1979. Wow. Oh, it was cloudy for you too? Dang it. Come on, clouds. Yeah, I felt super lucky I was able to check it out. Oh, it wasn't near you? I'm sure you'll get one eventually. Well, hopefully in your lifetime. It was bonkers here for a while. Like so it did a full coverage up in Idaho. So people were escaping up to Idaho from here. Just putting that change of direction. It's probably too high. Let's do it down here and smaller. So I'm just using the pinch brush and pulling it out to make that change of direction. And that'll give me something to kind of pull outwards on, like this. And obviously the shoulder muscle is not pointing down the arm. I'll be getting the bicep on the front, and it'll thicken that out, and we'll get a better read on what it's doing. Birds and bugs started chirping like it's nighttime. Oh, weird. Next eclipse is in 2027. Wow. So I went, there's a planetarium, a local planetarium here, and they had an eclipse show, and they showed kind of where it's going to be, because they can predict exactly where it's going to be, right? So they showed it, and and where it's going to swipe and when on the Earth. I wonder if that's somewhere online, because it was really interesting to see. And if it's going to be close to you, I think the next one that's going to cross the United States might be Florida. I'm not sure. Oh, no worries, MDM. Thank you very much for stopping by. You saw partial eclipse, Fonzo? That's cool, yeah. Oh, thanks, Tonal Recall. Is that what I was just explaining? That's cool. Florida and Texas, 7 years. Awesome. Okay, this, I'm liking how this is coming together. So far, so good. I don't hate it. Let's see, I'm just trying to lift that. There we go. I'm just trying to get this kind of curve. Okay. This is really cool how the forearm muscle goes all the way up between there. That's awesome. How he drew that. Story about NASA Eclipse jets. They flew in the path 7 minutes to take measurements. No, I did not know that. That's really cool. But, you know, NASA did win. They won the photo contest. Did you see those shots from space? The eclipse from space? Man. That was so cool. Unobstructed views. Okay, let's see. So 2023, yeah, not hitting it is always a good start. Well, I don't hate it. Okay. Oh, the ISS. Yes, that was so cool. The little dots as it crossed in front. That's really cool. Okay, let's get, I think I'm going to do the bicep first. Excuse me. Okay. That just kind of comes out and then goes down. Let's get this over here more. I might move this whole arm back in space. It feels a little forward for me, but we'll see. Totally dissing. Yeah. Dissing on everything. See that stupid eclipse? See how dumb that was? Okay, here's another trick for you guys. See how when I drew the bicep, it put it in the same color as the tricep? So now they're in the same group. Now what do? Well, you just hide them or isolate them, and you can stick them in auto groups like this. So now they're all in their own individual groups. You can hide these two and hit Control W to put them in the same group, and then you can isolate this one, and Control W and put them in the same group. Hey Asherati, how's it going? That is Stylized Anatomy model. Yep, it is. So good. So I decided to model it. Or digitally sculpt it, whatever you want to say. It was calling to me, said, please sculpt me. I'm so cool, please sculpt me. So what could I say? I have to do it. It's got chicken arms. So the forearm's going to be the most interesting, I think. These hips are way wide. Thank you. We believe in you, Peter. All right. Oh, looks like the hip's sticking out here a little bit. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna leave it for a minute. How soon before the second edition of your workshop course? If you have to hold your breath any longer, you're gonna explode or run out of breath. Hopefully I'm going to release the webinar where you can sign up within the next week or two. That's my goal. So enrollment is in the next couple of weeks. So if you're signed up for my newsletter, which you can get at 3dcharacterworkshop.com, where you can also get this interface and these brushes and everything, you can sign up there for my newsletter, and I'm going to open enrollment in a couple weeks. So I'm super excited for that. Yep, very soon. It's coming up. It's coming up. So I'm excited to have more peeps in there. When the reference asks you to model it, you have to. It's law. It is law. It's law. And I have too many. I do. I have a whole page on Pinterest that says it's called inspirational characters, and I essentially pick them based on if I would like to model them or not. And if you ever look at that, there's just like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds in there. I'd never model them all, but you know, they all sing to me, so they're very cool. Let's see. So I'm just looking at this and see this shape, right? This lat shape, how it comes up, and it goes straight and then over and down like this. Kind of hard to see. And then mine is just like, it doesn't change direction. So I'm just noticing that. So I want to pull it to the side here, like this. But maybe not. Just so it has a straight, changes direction, and then comes down. Sweet. To use my course for? Awesome, I would love to see it. Okay, that's better. Sweet. I guess this kind of changes on how strong the person is, how big the lats are. Okay, it's good for now. All right, let's continue with that arm. Let's put the pink one on there that goes all the way up the side of the arm. That's an interesting one. I'm gonna have to Z-remesh again here in a second. Hey, it's pink. It's telling me something. So that wraps all the way around. You can't get your renders to look good? You're like, Shane, help me. Shane. They don't look good. I'm sorry. Rendering's tricky. Super tricky. And it takes a lot of fiddling and back and forth. I took a photography class back in school, and I was taught it's kind of a 3 light setup with a rim light, so I guess 4 total. And I've just kind of stuck to that, and it has not steered me wrong. And how you do that is I should make a lesson on this in my course, I guess. I didn't, because every lighting setup is different. So maybe I will. Maybe I will. And how it works is I will usually put it's called a fill light because it fills in all the shadows, and it's typically almost straight on or slightly off center, and the color of that light is either a white or a yellow, like slightly yellow orangish, and that typically fills everything in. Why is this not working? Is it? Oh, it's topological. Okay, there we go. A directional and an ambient fill, and indirect. Yeah, that works too. See, there's so many different ways. So I didn't want to say, hey, this is the way you do it, and that's the only way to do it, because there's a billion ways to do it. So then what I'll do is I'll typically I'll put a blue on this side. So, let me see if I have. But I did my pirate differently. I did not render her the same. But this one, can you guys see this? Where can I zoom? What is this? View all photos? Oh, here we go. Okay, let's look at this again. So this one, you can see how it's got kind of a blue rim light. It's actually blue on both sides. This is different too. It's kind of lower resolution, but like I said, I typically do one like orange from straight on, and then I will do a kind of a magenta coming from one side and blue coming from the other side at 45 degrees from each other. I'll usually put the magenta kind of down low, kicking up. It's called a kicker, and it kind of shoots upwards. And then I will do a blue on the side shooting downwards. And then I'll do a rim light, which is super white hot, that comes from the back and lights up the very back. So that's my typical lighting setup, and then I'll go from there. I'll kind of mess with it from there. Like I'll change my kicker to like an orange, and make the blue light into like a purple or something, and just tweak it back and forth until it depends on the colors of the textures. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. But that's my typical 3 light setup. And honestly, the default key shot, just the default key shot, will make your model look extremely nice. If anything, if you just can't get it figured out, the default key shot is pretty dang good. So I'm just kind of reducing this to wrap around. So with I need to mask this off. So the pirate girl is, yeah, she has really strong lights from the side. It's very blue and very orange. Let me see if I have that one. Whoa, what did I do? Didn't mean to do that. Let's see. Twitch renders. Okay, there you go. So I have a really strong blue light coming in from camera left, and then kind of this orange white light. You can kind of see it right here. It's kind of a tannish color coming in from the right, and then I have that yellow orange light coming in right from the front. And the material I use is it's one material across almost the entire thing, except for if it has a little more shine to it, like the sword. It's the same material, but I turn up the shine. So it's a matte material for the most part, and then I just add shine to it where I want. It's really simple. It's not complex. It's not like, and then I will typically go in and paint the highlights on the eyes. by hand. So I cheat. That's the only way I cheat. That's the only post I really do. So I hope that helps. Lighting is a bugger, that's for sure. And it's mainly, that's why I never stream like my lighting, because it's just back and forth and it would be boring. You know, I think it would be completely boring to watch, because it's seriously just turning knobs and moving sliders. It's like the life of a renderer. So this wraps all the way down and around. So I won't know exactly how it goes until I get the other muscles in there. So cheaty. So this is looking pretty cool. Cheaty McCheat face. Probably shouldn't be bulging that much, but okay, let's put the blue one in there. Guesswork alchemy. It serious is. It is. Yep. Guesswork alchemy. Let's try this. No, let's try this. Now let's try this. Well, that looks like crap. Let's start over. You know, it's just, that's what it is. Seriously, just back and forth, back and forth. Okay, let's get the blue in here. What time are we looking at? 10:12. Thank you everybody for sticking with me, and everybody new to the stream, hello and welcome. What I'm doing here is I'm just blocking out this anatomy model. This is an anatomy drawing, a turnaround made by this amazing artist named Sycra, S-Y-C-R-A, and I ran across it on Pinterest, and it was just like, I need to model that, so I am. I asked him permission, he said, yes, please do it. So I happily took him up on it. Would the deformers help much with muscle shaping? No, because, I mean, you could totally do it that way. They help more with hair, but with muscles, the shapes are too specific, I guess is the word. So, you know, using the deformers it would take more time to set it up and tweak it than it would to just, you know, come in here with the move brush and just go for it, you know. At least that's my opinion on it anyway. I think I need to turn the intensity up because I really need to shrink the volume down. Yeah, for hair it's great because you want to kind of keep that the strand volume as it goes, and if you use a move brush for hair strands, you typically will mess it up. You'll mess up that volume. But with a deformer, where you put the dots down in like a line deformer, it will hold its volume and let you kind of snake it around, which is great. But for muscles, you want to change the volume as you go, so it doesn't really turn out as well, if that makes sense. So let's see, I'm going to make this muscle split the bone in half down here. See how it's like split down the back, which is great. Gives me kind of a map, like a guideline. You broke it and it wouldn't work? That's not fun. That is not a fun way to experience anatomy. Let's see. I'm looking at the silhouette. See how it peaks right here? And also the peaks are never straight across from each other. Just so you know. Took a swing at a door. How do you hit a door correctly? If you're taking a swing at a door, that's wrong. Just by default. Just saying. Okay. And this is kind of the gap where the third is going to go. Am I right? Okay. Oop. Okay, let's get that third one in there so we can start kind of making them work. Now this, it looks like it drew it the same color as the one I already had in there. So I'm going to invert the mask, and when I hit Control W, whatever is masked, it's going to make whatever's masked a new polygroup. That is, if you can catch it, that's the best way to do it. If you can catch that it's putting it in the same polygroup. So you can see how the green muscle is complementary to the reddish one. Yeah, for sure. It's real. It's a great exercise. I think everybody should do it. It's really fun. Because now it's like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I've kind of honestly, and I'm not gonna lie, I've faked my way through anatomy a lot, you know, in my art career and in the past, and I know what kind of the silhouette looks like. I'm sure I've gotten a lot of it wrong, and I learned a lot when I was working on Disney Infinity. But this, yeah, doing exercises like this, like anatomy studies, I can completely understand why people do it. And I almost think that building it out piece by piece, shape by shape, from the skeleton up is so much more valuable than kind of drawing it, you know, drawing the skeleton and drawing how the bones go on there, because you're working in volumes. And the volumes, it's, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it registers in my head a lot better than just drawing does, you know. Guessing the door was okay. Door wins. The door just stood there, like, do it again. So yeah, after doing this exercise, I actually think it would be, you know, worth doing this again and doing it realistically. And then, you know, so then you know what to stylize. I'm doing this because it's just kind of refining what it's filling in the gaps, like the puzzle piece, you know. It's filling in the silhouette that I know. Like, why does it look that way? Well, this is why. So what I'm trying to do on the back here is, again, split this down the center. And then I'll grab the other one and match it. I got this pink one coming through. Like, see how it's difficult to grab that pink one in there. So what I can do is just isolate, mask it, and make sure topological is turned off of my move brush. And now I can grab it really easily. Just kind of pull it up so you can't see it anymore. And then I can invert that and get that pink one to wrap around more. Anatomy people are like, it's not the pink one, it's called this. Oh, just shut it. UK slang for being quiet. Would you just shut it? Let's see here. So from the front, looks like this wraps around even more, and you can only see the back one from right here. So I'm going to work on that. Pink arm muscle. you're like in some like hoity-toity anatomy class. You're like, oh yeah, that's the pink one. They all just slowly turn and stare at you. Get out. You and your muscle slang is not welcome here. Okay, man, that wraps around a ton. Let's try and get it to do that. Doohickey, do you mind if I ask why you close and open your course for people to sign up? Because that's a great question. The reason why is because of overwhelm. I give light mentoring, and I'm quite active in there. My course is my full-time gig now, and I honestly I don't want to have a ton of people in there that I can't keep up with, because I mean you're paying for the course, so I want you to have some feedback from me, and that's the trade-off. It's not like your typical workshops where it's an 8-week course and you get feedback every single week. It's more like you get feedback when you need it, or when I have a private Facebook group and the students post in there all the time, and I'll watch it. I constantly watch it and see as they're posting who needs help, and then I'll hop in there and I'll either do a draw over, or like a Photoshop liquefy. I'll liquefy it a little bit and say try this, or I'll ask them to send me their model, and sometimes I'll do a Facebook live video feedback session with their model, and I will go and I will say, push this and this and make it more appealing that way. And then I will take those videos and I'll make them available to all the students to watch. Because ZBrush is so huge, I can't teach it. I can't remember to teach everything in there. I'll come across some stuff that I'll just plain out forget. So I'll usually run across it later in kind of a feedback session, which is super nice. Oh, thanks, Tatara. Thanks for stopping by. And it's not, that kind of a course is not typical in this industry. The workshop style is more typical, where it's like an 8-week course and you get feedback every week. So that's kind of the trade-off, is you get lifetime access to the course, and you get access to all the video training that you can just watch at your own leisure, and that it works out great because most people are busy. A lot of people don't have time to dedicate a solid 8 weeks, so it works out nice for busy people. There's some students in there that haven't even started yet, and there's some that are just like putting out a character a week, and they're getting way better and better with each character, and it's great. So yeah, so far it's been really cool. I love it. So let's see. What is your usually 3D focus? Games? Video games? Yes, video games. So like I said, I worked, I've been in the video game industry for the last 18 years. It's almost 19, I think. I started in 1998, so whatever that makes. Let's see. Man, that wraps even more. Need to get this green one out and overlapping more. Yeah, so I worked on like Warhawk. It's a game called Warhawk. I worked on, Disney Infinity is the biggest one. Super rappy. Super duper rappy. Yeah, that wraps clear around. So it's almost like I almost want to take a twist deformer and like go twist. I might do that. Hey, NLT, how's it going, man? It's all good. We still got like 30-ish minutes, 30 plus. Going to school right now. That's awesome. So are you in games? Let's see. Why isn't this moving? Oh, I have inflate going. Sweet. So what's the latest, LT? What's the news? NLT, sorry. Let's pull that one out. The prototype for a VR gnome smashing game. I love it already. Gnome smashing game. I just got VR and Oculus for my birthday. I haven't pulled it out yet. Okay, I'm gonna actually make an elbow, like an elbow diamond shape right here on the bone side. So that's why I'm just letting that peek out like that. So I do occasional freelance. I'm doing less and less because I need to focus on my course, but the last freelance I did was for a company in Texas called Playful, and they made a VR game called Lucky's Tale, and I did a couple characters for that. This is looking pretty cool. So it's going to take a lot of tweaking and refining, but it's kind of fun to see the bones underneath the muscles. It's kind of working out how I hoped it would, which is nice. Like I said, I don't hate it. Day job, family, 3D printing. Ooh, nice. Yep. Zbrush is a great way to decompress. Seriously. I was prepping my model for 3D printing earlier today. Oh, the vertical slice. Yep, that's a thing. Vertical slice is a thing. I haven't decided how I'm going to do these hands yet. If I'm just going to do kind of an overlay like I did with the feet. But I really want to have, like, separate these pads out underneath, and I'll probably do that offline. I won't. I'll save you guys. And I'm going to pinch the scapula out right here, just to kind of give a hint, and we call them plane changes. So see how the light kind of rolls over that surface? You just want to peek that out just a little bit. Stark Grim, I just read your message. That's awesome. Let's see. Yay. Thanks, NLT. Appreciate it. Okay, oh, let me show you guys. Let's see, it's 10:30. Let's take a little break from here. Let's save it. Save as Skelly 4. Sure. I need to make these feet a lot bigger. Those feet are teeny. But okay, ignore the feet. Let's I'm going to show you what I was working on earlier today. No. Let me see. Bear with me for a moment, please. Let me see. 3 character workshop. There we go. Okay. So this is the character that I built for the workshop, for my course. And she's this has been prepped for print, and what I did is I used the live boolean to key out parts. So if I solo this base, let me show you. So see this base? Let me turn the color off. You can see how her feet are subtracted out with a key in there as well. And then I use the new text feature to wrap text around the front of this, and I use the bend deformer to bend it. And then I used another cylinder to subtract out of the base, so it would use less material when I printed. Hey A-Cube, what's up? What's up, Sista? How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. It's A-Cubed, everybody. I'm just showing these guys. I was prepping my models for print earlier today to be printed for the Zbrush Summit. And this is, I was using live boolean. So this has also been decimated. So decimated basically means make less of, so way less polygons than it was made of before. And you have to do that to send it to a printer, otherwise the printer will choke. So let me see if I have the parts to this. I do. Okay, so here's the base and the, let me turn live boolean on so you can see it. Okay, here's the feet. These are the feet that I subtracted out of it. And I don't know why it's so giant here. Let's see, solo. There we go. Okay, that's why. Let me hide her. My keyboard tray started squeaking, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, so this is essentially how I built it. So this will be printed on the, I'm gonna get the name wrong, the Moon. Some of you guys might help me out. It's Moon printer. What is it? I can't remember what it's called. Moonray printer. Okay, that's what it is. It'll be printed out on the Moonray. And let's see, where'd you guys go? So essentially, here's the text that's been wrapped. This is what it looked like before I decimated it and before I combined it together with this cylinder. And then you can see this other cylinder. If I turn on the wireframe, you can see it. So there's the disc, there's the letters, there's the cylinder being subtracted out of the bottom, and there's the feet that I duplicated, cut them off, and then I inflated them slightly because you essentially want to have the part that's being cut out to be slightly larger than the actual part that you're going to fit in, because plastic will shrink as it heats up and expands and contracts. So you want to have it slightly bigger so you'll have a better chance of it fitting. And then I did the same thing with the, here, let me hide this. I did the same thing with the gun and the arm sticking out the bottom. So let me hide all this stuff and select the, whoops. Okay, so these arms, yep, shrinkage. There's shrinkage? So I decided to use the actual arms as keys. Come on, turn off. There we go. So, why is it showing it? So I'm subtracting these arms right here. That's another thing I did, is I duplicated the arms and then I chopped them off and I stuck them in there and then subtracted them. So I inflate the pieces about 5 to 10% is all, just like a millimeter in real life size, not too much. So do I cover 3D printing in my course? Yes, I do. I have it's a bonus, but I don't cover the live Boolean stuff yet. So the course is like Zbrush, where I constantly update it, and I don't charge for updates. I updated it quite a bit a couple weeks ago. So I want to update it with these live Boolean things because they're so amazing. But I did make a Facebook live video showing my students how I did this stuff. So it's a lot of fun to post to the student Facebook group. It's a lot of fun. So let's see. A lot less time using sandpaper. Yep, to make them fit when you have it wrong. That is so true. So you'll see that you can see her right here. I did scale her down a little bit, but this is the final. And see, her arms are just stumps. They're actually going to be the keys that fit down inside those gloves. And you need to be careful because, like one of my students asked me, are you going to be able to pull those out because they're at an angle? And as long as these two lines are straight, I don't know which one I might have changed it. I can't remember. Anyway, as long as they're parallel with each other, the interior lines are parallel with each other, they'll pull out. Otherwise, you're going to have to sand them off to stick them in there. So you just have to be careful of things like that. And there is, so she's been decimated as well. You can see how low res she is actually, and that is so I can send her to the printer. And there are some surface anomalies that you can see, like this kind of stuff. You will not see that in the print. You can go in here and kind of smooth it up and clean it out, but you're not going to see all these little jaggedy faces because she'll print so small. She'll print about this size in real life. And that's what this ruler is for, actually. And you can get this ruler on my website, 3dcharacterworkshop.com. It comes with my user interface. And basically I use this to export everything for 3D printing. So hey, what's up, Rob? Yes, I was sorry, I was trying to talk to you for a second, but I'm streaming. So the reason I have this ruler in here is to give me a bounding box. So this ruler is set to 200 millimeters tall. So she will print at just over 100, like 125 millimeters tall. And as long as everything you're printing is within this ruler space, the top and the bottom, when you go to export everything as an STL, you go over here to 3D Print Hub, and you'll see this right here. See how it says millimeters? As long as you, otherwise it's a guess, right? You can print her out and everything else with her at whatever size you want, and that's typical. But with Infinity, we had to make these discs be the exact same every single time we printed. And the only way we could do that is if we had a ruler or something that we could measure and be relative to. So our ruler file at Disney Interactive actually had this ring and the base with the ruler, and then we would model the character to that disc. So when we printed it out, it would be the exact same size that we needed it to be. So if you type in 200 right here, come on, sometimes you have to roll this up and then type it. There we go. So if you type 200 in right here, it's going to print out at the exact size you want it perfectly every single time, because the ruler is 200 millimeters tall. As long as you don't push your model above the ruler or below the ruler. And if you do have a model that's taller than 200 millimeters, then you can duplicate that ruler and then export your scene at 400 millimeters, because you have your scene bounding box is now 400 millimeters tall. And if you can see that guy back there, we had to do that with that guy when we printed him out because he's so huge. So we had to, I don't know how big he is, but he's giant. And anyway, so we had to kind of duplicate the rulers. Do I have issues with UVs and Booleans? I never really use both of them together. So like UVs are for game models and Booleans are for like when you're prepping stuff and getting everything ready. I don't, it's not like your typical Booleans in Maya or anything like that. It's just for high resolution scopes. Yep, so by hitting 200 over there, it essentially sets the resolution scale. Exactly correct. So do I still have a, yeah, I have a ruler in this. So this guy, if I printed him out, he would almost be 200 millimeters tall. And that is, here, hang on one second. Okay, to give you an idea of scale, I have this gigantic ruler here. So, let's see, 120, 200 millimeters is that tall. I don't know if you can see that. It's like, it's that it'd be a big print, right? So 120 is about what the Infinity characters were printed at. So that's 120 right there. And that's what they were printed at. So that kind of gives you an idea. So 200 millimeters should be big enough for most cases. Otherwise, you're just guessing. You're just like, okay, I'm going to make him 120, and that's how you can print them out, you know, whatever size you want. But if you want it exact scale to a T, then that's how you do it. So anyway, Rob, check it out. This is what I've been building today. Just this Cycra anatomy model. So I have three. I need to get rid of this subtool set because I'm not using it anymore. So I have a skeleton and I have the muscles. So this is the skeleton and these are the muscles. And it's been pretty fun. So I'm going to block out that neck really quick in the last, what, 15 minutes we got here. So I'm going to kind of give him a nose boot and then use that as the neck. Let's see. So do you guys have any questions about that printing stuff? Be happy to answer them for you. On your course, do you take artists through getting the character ready as game models? Yes, I do. That's the very last module. I take you from start to finish. So most of the course is, of course, Zbrush and getting the high resolution. I talk about posing your characters, getting it all ready, and then I talk about. I do cover other programs, but mainly Zbrush. Let's see, and then I'll get that other one in there. When am I opening it up again? In the next couple weeks. It's very, very soon. Super duper soon. I'm very excited about that. Very soon. Yes. And once again, I got to show you guys, the student gallery is great. If you haven't seen the student gallery so far, fresh meat. There you go, student gallery. Very, very proud of the students' work so far. Okay. There's a high-res version, or a high-res gallery and a block-out gallery. Because I teach you how to block out your characters. Then eventually there'll be a game character gallery and a 3D print gallery. That's my goal, my dream. Yeah, fresh meat, Rob. You're gonna have to show him the ways. Rob's one of my students. Yeah, when are you gonna get some stuff up there, Rob? Gotta get your stuff. Not to put you on the spot or anything. Sorry about that, but come on, man. I'd love to see some stuff. That's that Rogue Bear. That's how I used to work, because I've been a box modeler since, you know, since the beginning, since back in 1998. They didn't have ZBrush. You didn't work this way. So I've had to kind of develop this technique of blocking my characters out. It was based on, I watched Michael DeFeo, because Michael DeFeo is a traditional sculptor first. He's also a digital sculptor, but he was a digital sculptor first for Blue Sky Studios. And I was watching some webinars from him one day, and he's like, I block out my characters like this. And it was kind of a eureka moment for me. Like, whoa, you can do that, and it makes sense, you know? So I've been doing it that way ever since. Because it makes sense. I don't block characters out to this degree, as you can see in that block out gallery. I don't teach students to block it out like this. This is kind of nuts. This is just an experiment, just an exercise in taking anatomy further than I typically do, just to learn it. Yeah, there you go, Rob. That's the way. All right, let's see. Oh, need to turn topological back on. Oh yeah, Andre is killing it. He is killing it. He made, yeah, he made some Game of Thrones characters. He made the two of them. I didn't put both of them up there. I was trying to kind of restrict it to 2 characters per student right now, because I didn't want my gallery to get too huge and let everybody have a kind of a show in there. But yeah, he's having a lot of fun with it too. A lot of fun. It's really, that's kind of the most rewarding, honestly, for me, is to kind of see these students just run with it. You know, they're just like, I get it. I understand it now. And then they just they can't stop. They just make character after character after character. It's really fun to see. This is interesting. Oh, I did put both of them up there. Okay, he has a little kid with glasses too. So I don't know if I left that one out, or if I might have put it up there. I don't know. I can't remember, because I didn't want to keep any of it from anyone. But, and I have some more going up too. So yeah, Rogue Bear, I don't talk about it on here. All I can say is it's compatible with other courses that are similar to it, other workshops. Because the reason I don't like to say the price on here is because a couple reasons, but the main reason is because the price could change. If anything, it'll go up as I add value. So it's good to get in there. But also, if I tell people the price, then they just that's all they tend to think about, instead of like the value of it. So all 3 are there? Okay, no worries. Bonus. Okay. Well, guys, I don't hate it. It's turning out okay. Not too bad. There's some things that I want to tweak, like see this overlap in the back of the knee and that extra tendon in there. I want to add that in there. I want to square up these buttocks a little more, the glutes, and I wanted to exaggerate some of this because this is a stylized anatomy figure. I really want to stylize it and exaggerate these peaks and exaggerate, like, see how it's very crisp and sharp, this point, and how this point is up here, and yeah, just kind of how it all comes together. Maybe square up these pecs and make sure it matches. Maybe bring this down a little bit more. Then I might take this and make a female version out of it too. Dark Place Interactive, hey, how's it going? You finally been watching the Stylized character tutorials. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm glad you could make it. I'm so close to being done though. You got like 8 minutes. I'm sorry. All right, Sumerian. Thanks, brother. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's check it out. Let's see how you do. I'm anxious to see if it helped at all. So thanks for stopping by. Simplified stylized skeleton muscles make it easier to understand how the muscle groups work. See, that was kind of the goal, Johnner. Thank you very much for pointing that out. It's, you know, it doesn't have to be as complicated as you see those crazy high-tech anatomy studies, you know, that get into every single little thing, and it just gets confusing. And when this is in silhouette, let's put this in silhouette really quick. And the hands look not the greatest, but when this, ignore the hands and the teeny tiny feet, but when this is in silhouette, that's all you really care about in the final model, is what is underneath, what is happening, what muscle groups are affecting what, to make the outside shape look the way it does. You know, there's reasons for everything, and that is kind of the goal of this guy, is to just simplify those groups, put them into colors, because I thought it would be a really neat kind of learning tool to have. You know, just it was I learned a lot just going through it myself, and I'll be keeping it around. I would love to print this out once I get it more solid and refined, because I want to go through here and actually add some edges and things, like all those planes of the face. I'm going to come in here and cut those in and really define all of those planes and edges so the light catches them really nice, and then possibly print this out. So yeah, the different colors are great. Then I do need to compare this with an actual anatomy model, and Le Scorche. I'm horrible at saying these, but like Michael DeFeo made one, and it's in an app, and I want to really compare it and make sure, even though it's stylized, make sure that it's functioning correctly and the muscles are landing in the right spots. Even though it's, you know, stylized and exaggerated, I want to make sure that it's, you know, accurate enough that people can rely on it to look at, and it's not, you know, steering people in the absolute wrong direction. So, but like I said, the main thing I want to focus on is just the silhouette and what's happening. So there you go, guys. I'll work on this. I don't know if I'll continue with this on the next stream or not, or I might go back to the Jessica, or I might start something new. I don't know. I'll kind of play it by ear, I think. Yeah, there's a lot in this that I want to change. Just this abdominal shape and this, how the hips rock forward and the rib cage is rocking back, and then just how that the abdominals are coming down and cutting in. I really want to make sure I get all those shapes in there. So do a color set for the complementary muscles. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, the Michael DeFeo and Scott Eaton, the one they did for the iPad, with the guy with the arm out like this. You can find that on the App Store. I can't remember the name of it, but it's really, really good. So, yep, super good reference. Anyway, guys, is there any other questions? I have like a couple more minutes left. And like I said, I'm giving a workshop at the ZBrush Summit this year. I think there's one seat left. I'm not sure. Let's go see. ZBrush Summit. Let's go see. I just looked today and there was like one seat left, so I don't know. Yep, one seat left. If you can make it. So I'm pretty anxious for that. And yep, Le Scorche, thanks. Le Corch, I can't say it. I'm just butchering it. So yeah, pricey for flights from Japan. Oh, Le Corche, Le Corche. Thanks, Rob. my America. I just destroy it. Yep, awesome. I do have a Pinterest page with tons of anatomy on it. If you're interested in that, let's see. Let me go get it. Pinterest. Here, I'll just give you the top level so you can see all of my boards. And because I have hands and eyes and feet, topology, real sculpts, all sorts of stuff. You guys are welcome. And thank you very much, Pixelogic, for letting me stream. And yep, it's been great again. This has been a fun one. It's better when I have more energy. A couple times ago, I was just like, I don't have the energy to do this. So it's always good when I do, and it's good when stuff kind of works out, you know. Anyway, yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by, and I will catch you all next Tuesday. If you're interested in my user interface and my brushes and my ruler, just go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com and you can get all that stuff. And like I said, I'll be opening the course up for enrollment very, very shortly, within the next couple weeks. So I'd love to see a whole bunch of you guys in there so I can help you with your models. So thanks everybody. Have a great night and have a great week. We'll see you next time. I gotta figure out how to shut this thing down. All right. Take care, everybody. See ya.